Hello everyone, welcome to GR IAS Academy's daily editorial analysis. My name is Harish Amiti and I am presenting you today editorials from the Hindu dated 16th October 2023, and these are our topics for discussion today. This video is particularly about editorials from the Hindu today, and occasionally we will be taking editorials from the Indian Express. Today we are taking these two articles from the Hindu, and all the news articles related to prelims will be uploaded as a separate video. So this video is for editorial. So our first article talks about sustainable water management. So this article is basically written by experts from three organizations: World Food Program, Food and Agriculture Organization (FAO), and IFAD, International Fund for Agricultural Development. So three organizations: WFP, FAO, IFAD. We will see about those organizations in detail. So they are saying, on the occasion of World Food Day, today is World Food Day. On the occasion of World Food Day, they have written this article, and they are calling for sustainable water use. And why today is celebrated as World Food Day? Because today we are celebrating the formation of UNFAO, United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. So these are three organizations I am talking about: UNFAO, Food and Agriculture Organization; IFAD, International Fund for Agricultural Development; and World Food Program. So experts from these three organizations written our present article, and please understand that all these three, FAO, IFAD, and World Food Program, all three work on food security and related aspects, and all three work very close with the UN. So all these three are related agencies working under UN, working on common areas with minute differences. If you take FAO, it works basically on technology related to agriculture, and extension, implementing that technology practically. And if you take IFAD, see, it is a fund, it works on agricultural financing, and it exclusively focuses on rural areas in developing countries. So initially FAO was formed. This was for general purpose, general development of agricultural and ensuring food security for everyone. Then after some time, they felt that there is a need for a organization which takes care of emergency situations. So a World Food Program was formed. So this organization works like a charitable organization, and works in emergency situations like Afghanistan crisis, uh, mm, migration crisis in West Asia, etc. So in any kind of wars or other crisis situations, World Food Program ensures availability of food to those victims. So after formation of FAO, based on the realization of need for such a kind of organization, World Food Program was formed. And later it was felt that there is a need to focus on developing countries more. So IFAD was formed. So these are three organizations working closely with each other, working under UN, working on food and related aspects. So I hope you understood. Notice that all three has headquarters in Rome. So all three are headquartered at Rome. So this is a brief about this organization. So experts from these organizations in the current article highlighting the need for sustainable water use. So humans are using water in an unsustainable way. We are exploiting groundwater, we are polluting river water, we are polluting even the available drinking water and everything. And glaciers are melting because of our activities. Human activities primarily leading to a phenomenon called climate change. We will see in our next slide. So what is climate change? Change in the natural climate of the earth. So climate change simply is a change in the natural climate of the earth. Actually, earth has climate change events throughout its history. So climate change is not the first time happening on earth, but the climate change happening right now is definitely not natural. It is definitely very high due to specific human activity. It was already established that many activities of human are exacerbating this climate change. So there is an anthropogenic element in the ongoing climate change, and it is having many severe negative consequences on us. We will see in next slide what are those consequences. So because of unsustainable activities of human, water getting overutilized and it affecting food security. So in this article, author is reminding us the same. So availability or lack of water has become even more critical with increasing climate extremes. So due to various human activities, climate extremes are occurring, and due to these climate extremes, water is becoming more scarce. So we think water is a very available, very much available resource, but water is available very rarely. So the author is suggesting us not to take the availability of water for granted. To understand that water is a rare but very important resource. So use it in a sustainable way and do not take it for granted. So these authors are saying with less than 7 years to left to achieve the SDGs. I hope you know the SDGs. SDGs are pledges by all the members of the United Nations, and period of implementing this SDGs is 2015 to 2030. So all the countries in the world in 2015 taken a decision that in the next 15 years we will implement some goals like SDG 1, no poverty, SDG 2, zero hunger. So there are total 17 SDG goals like that. But these first two SDGs are directly related to our current article, no poverty and zero hunger. These are very much related to the sustainable agriculture and sustainable water management. So without sustainable agriculture and sustainable water management, we cannot achieve these two SDGs. So these authors are saying after the 2015 starting of these SDGs, we are already in 2023. So only 7 years is left to achieve these SDGs. But we are still nowhere to the sustainable use of water. So they are laying stress on the need to adopt innovative and collaborative approaches for improvement, management, conservation, and availability of this scarce resource of water. So if you see the availability of water, how scarce it is. See, understand that total water on the earth, take it 100%. 97%, 97% of water is in the oceans. 97.25 water is limited to ocean. So these oceans are highly saline, which we cannot use. This is not a potable water. That means it is not a drinkable water. So 97.25% is completely out of reach for us to use as a drinking water. This cannot be even used for agricultural purpose also. And even within the remaining 2.7%, 2.5%, 2.05% is in ice caps and glaciers. So ice caps and glaciers also out of reach for us. We cannot go to Himalayas or North Pole or Antarctica and use the water from there in India. So almost 99.30%, almost 99.30% water on earth is completely out of reach for human. So very less resource is available for human. Even in that groundwater which is available 0.6% to us, we are not using it in a sustainable way. So that is the importance of water. So water is a lifeline on earth. Water availability affects every aspect of human life. It is needed for drinking, it is needed for agriculture purpose, it is needed for house construction. So it is needed for producing material. So water touches every aspect of human life, especially food and nutrition security. For instance, 60% of India's net zone area is rain-fed. What is net zone area? There are two concepts here. One is net zone area, another one is gross cropped area. So what is net zone area and gross cropped area? Let's take a field. Now I am cultivating rice here. When I cultivate rice, let's say this whole area is 10 hectares. So I sown rice here. So net sown area is 10 hectares for this year when you consider this land. But understand that in the same year, I have cultivated 3 crops on the same land. 3 crops, June to September, October to February, and again March to July or August. Let's say I have cultivated rice 3 times within the same year. So if you want to take gross cropped area, I have taken 3 crops. I have cultivated 3 crops. So 3 into 10, 30 hectares is the gross cropped area. But if you take net sown area, it is just 10 hectares. How many times you cultivate the some given crop on the same land in a year is irrelevant. So when you calculate net sown area, the area of the land is taken once per year. But how many times you cultivate the crop becomes important when you calculate gross cropped area. So under the net sown area in India, 60% is rain fed. What does it mean when we say 60% is rain fed? Remaining 40% is not dependent on rain. It is having the facility of irrigation. So in India, 60% of the sown area is directly dependent on the rain fed. That means the monsoon, and the remaining 40% depends on irrigation. So till now we are not able to cover our 100% sown area under irrigation. Why irrigation is needed? When you provide irrigation facility to every crop, you automatically secure it from many hazards, natural or man-made or many things. You naturally protect it from many hazards like climate change we are discussing. So irrigating the land is required. It should be our preference, but most of our land is rain fed. That is why we need to use water sustainably. So how climate change is impacting the agriculture? First understand the causes. This is not directly related to the article. Climate change is a very broad topic touching all aspects of GS. But in this article, after discussing this briefly, we will limit ourselves to the water aspects of the climate change. So many aspects of human activities, transport, generation of power, manufacturing goods, buildings, and even agriculture produces many undesirable elements, and it pollutes air, water, even land. So that is what called climate change. The consequences of it called climate change, like increase in temperature of earth, increase in sea level, pollution of water bodies. So this is what climate change, and the consequence, it has very severe consequences. As I said, average temperature on earth increases. So Indians are habituated to one lifestyle, Africans are habituated to one lifestyle, Americans are habituated to one lifestyle, people in Arctic region are habituated to one lifestyle, because everyone adapted to the particular conditions, a particular temperature in their environment. But when the temperature increases, now all the adaptations that humans or even other animals made for generations become irrelevant, because now the temperature is increasing. Now if you take the northern Arctic area, all that Siberian in Russia, etc., now those people, glaciers are melting there. Now the glaciers are melting there. Those people are not equipped with dealing the melting glacier. Have you heard of something called igloo? So this igloo is something people construct to live in the Siberian region of Russia. Okay, so these kind of structures become irrelevant. So there are many consequences. Droughts becomes increase in frequency and even intensity, and storms increase, and the predictability of these extreme events also become very uncertain. Level of oceans increases. I have already told you, loss of biodiversity threatens food security. So this is the relevant aspect of our article. More health risk, new kind of diseases evolve, new kind of viruses, bacteria evolve, poverty and displacement. So these are the causes and consequences of climate change. So let's come back to our article. So because of the climate change, which underlies the human activities, which is the result of the many human activities, 40% of the planet's total land area is degraded. So we are degrading land, we are clearing forests, okay, we are planting commercial plants, we are planting water sucking plants. So we are degrading the land in many ways. So as of now, already 40% of the planet's total land area is degraded, leaving farmers with very less productive area. So every year the available productive land is decreasing continuously. Another negative fallout of this, that more than 80% of the farmers globally, this applies to even to India, more than 80% of farmers in world and also in India are small scale farmers. That means the size of their land is very small. These farmers does not have the money to adopt. Okay, they cannot have this facility of financing, technology, everything. All of these are needed to adapt to climate change. So these consequences will have severe effects on these people because they cannot adapt. They are surviving merely on subsistence basis. They are not the big farmers who can afford a loss 1 year or 2 years. A crop loss of 1 year will have severe impact on the livelihoods of these people. So when it comes to food security directly, these are the consequences climate change has. So directly I'm directly talking to our current article. So first of all, climate change is leading to changes in rainfall and temperature. So rainfall becoming unpredictable. This year if you see in 2023, monsoon was less than the average, less than the every year average, normal. If you take 2022 or the past 5 years from 2019 to 2022, monsoon was above average. Last 5 years it was above average. This year it was below average. So never it was the normal. So either it is heavy or it was less. So these kind of events because of climate change. Changes in the rainfall and higher temperature, increase in extreme weather events, number of droughts or number of floods are increasing every year. You must have heard frequently that cities are flooding. Indian cities are getting flooded every year. Every year it is a common phenomenon. Variability in availability of water, as I said, we are over exploiting groundwater. We are over exploiting groundwater. Glaciers are melting. Rivers are getting flooded. Next is changing agroecological conditions. Now agroecological conditions, take soil. Now when you use fertilizers, the modern agricultural method after green revolution, we are using fertilizers like anything. So the more you use fertilizer, the more water you use for agriculture, soil becomes saline. Saline. Okay, that means soil becomes unusable. The natural bacteria present in the soil will die. So because of human activities and because of the increasing temperature and many climate change aspects, agroecological conditions are changing. Again, shifting growing season. The natural growing season, the natural crop seasons in India, if you take Kharif, Rabi and Jaid, these are three agricultural seasons in India, Kharif, Rabi and Jaid. Kharif season is from June to September. So they will sow the seeds in June and they will harvest the crops in September or October. So this season, when people plant crops in this season, June to September, this is called Kharif because it depends on southwest monsoon. Similarly, when you say Rabi, this means winter season. This Kharif is in summer season. Rabi season is from October or November till February. So when you plant crops in winter season, it is called Rabi. Similarly, Jaid, this is nothing but the break in between Kharif and Rabi. So the intermittent season between Kharif and Rabi is Jaid. So some plants are cultivated in Kharif, some in Rabi, some in both, some in Jaid. So these are our growing seasons for crops. Because of climate change, these seasons are getting disturbed. So these are some consequences of climate change. And these factors reducing crop productivity. Crop productivity means if this year from 1 hectare of land I produce 100 kg of rice, but because of climate change and other aspects, next year I am able to produce only 80 kg. So the land I am cropping, sowing the seed is same, but my output is less. So there is a change in my crop productivity. So it automatically leads to food availability. Change in crop productivity automatically leads to reduction in food availability. So climate change factors leading to reduction in crop productivity and food availability. So here is an interesting study conducted by Government of India addressing the impact of climate change. So what Government of India did? It simulated two situations. One is when government did nothing, we are doing nothing for adapting. assume that we are doing nothing for adoption, how will be the climate change in 2050? How will be the climate change in 2050 and 2080? So we are staying put as of now, and we are letting the climate change happen it as it is. We are not doing any adoption or anything. So what will happen in 2050 and 2080? If we do nothing by 2050, our productivity will reduce by 20%. This is an example for rice. So if we do nothing by 2050, our productivity will reduce by 20%. By 2080, it is 47%. It is 47% by 2080. See, so if we do nothing, if we leave climate change to do whatever it does, we will lose half of the crop by 2080. By that time, our population may double, but our crop productivity will become half. So it will be a very severe stress on our economy. So we cannot let climate change to be as it is. We have to take some action. We need to adopt. Similarly, when rain-fed agriculture depends on water availability, rain and soil moisture variation can severely affect food and nutrition security. This point, as I have already explained, when water availability is uncertain, food security automatically becomes uncertain. There is an urgent need to adapt to climate change by promoting technologies and practices that make rain-fed production more resilient and sustainable. So as I said, we need to do something. What that thing we can do? We can promote technologies and practices which are innovative and which make us more resilient and sustainable. So we need to take some action against the climate change. Sustainable water management is critical to address the impending food and nutrition security threats. So there is a impending threat for food and nutrition security because of the climate change. And what is the way? Sustainable water management is the way. So how we should adapt? What is the solution? As I said, sustainable water management is one thing. And here in this article, as I said, because this is an article written by experts from FAO, WFP, IFAD, they have mentioned some programs which they are doing. So this slide is basically factual. So I hope you read it. This is basically factual how this FAO, IFAD are contributing for the adapting towards climate change. Here also WFP, how it is contributing in India for the adoption of climate change. And some more step we can do. What can we do for adapting to the climate change apart from the sustainable water management? What can we do? First of all, political commitment is needed. Political commitment is needed. Our politicians should be heartfully willing to solve the problem to face this. Another one is we must promote innovative and proven technologies, and we should adapt to climate change by and become more resilient to shocks and increase the productivity by innovating and implementing proven technologies. So this is one way. First is political commitment. Second is promoting innovative techniques. Third one is implementing proven technologies. Fourth one is irrigation is also a way. I have already explained you. We are more dependent on rain-fed crops. We are more dependent on rain. So to have that natural security, we should convert this dependence on rain to dependence on irrigation. So irrigation is nothing but ensuring the water continuously in all seasons. So when you automatically convert into irrigation, you will have natural more security. So irrigation is also an effective way, but at the same time, this irrigation should not be unsustainable. It should be environmental and socially sustainable. If you provide a bore well in the farm, you should not let the farmer to exploit the groundwater in an unsustainable way continuously. You cannot just give him free electricity and a free pass to drain all the water. So whatever the irrigation techniques implemented, they should be environmentally and socially sustainable, like micro irrigation techniques. You must have heard about drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, etc. So some of the irrigation techniques are not sustainable and some of the irrigation techniques are environmentally and socially sustainable. And financially also, farmers should be able to implement it. Okay, it should not be too high cost, so that farmer should not be able to afford it. Adopt efficient food and water recycling strategies. So automatically this is a natural point. We should be able to recycle our food and water. So whatever the water is already used, when you recycle it efficiently, you will it automatically means sustainable water management. Another point is that strengthen institutional arrangements. So we have many organizations regularizing using of groundwater and even the natural water, and many organizations regulating the environment like NGT. NGT ensures everyone uses environment in a sustainable way, no one damages environment unreasonably. So these kind of institutional arrangements are needed to promote the sustainable use of water. So this is our first article is about, so it basically talks about sustainable water management. Scope of this article is very large, but authors intentionally talk about only sustainable water management. So we should also limit to ourselves to the same. So as I said, this is the article. Now link this to syllabus. Link everything to the syllabus. Whatever you read, just link this to the syllabus. This is sustainable water management, and as I said, it was written by the authors from 3 organizations: FAO, IFAD, WFP. So these are 3 international organizations. So we have already discussed about them. So it links to GS paper 2, international relations. And this whole article is talking about agriculture and sustainable water use. So it becomes related to the agricultural part of the GS paper 3, agriculture and economy also. And we are also talking about sustainable use. So it is automatically related to the environment aspect. This is a practice mains question. We have already discussed the answer. Just try it. Okay. This is a very interesting article. He talks about the gender pay gap, our economies across the world. This is an interesting article on the work of recent Nobel Prize winner in economics, Dr. Claudia Golding. So she is the winner of economics Nobel Prize this year. So her works are very interesting. She is basically talking about situation of women in the labor force. But this article is not written by her. Some other author written this article on works of Dr. Claudia Golding. So first understand that this article is in the context of this year Nobel Prize, Economic Science Nobel Prize. So she is talking about underrepresentation and underpayment of women lies in the homes. So there is a traditional view, there is a orthodoxy view. What is traditional view? We all know that in market situation, men are more than women. In market, there are more men than women. So why there are more men than women? Our orthodoxical view or traditional view says that women are basically socially responsible for taking care of children. So these child responsibilities are hindering women to participate in the economy. And another reason is that they are educated less. Society does not allow them to get full education. So when we ask the question, understand this is a very important point. When we ask the question, why there are less women in the labor force compared to men? The economic experts of the economy are always saying till now, because of the social reasons such as responsibilities of the children and less education given by the society to women are the reasons for women not being able to participate in the labor force fully. So basically till now people are blaming the society for low participation of the women in economy. So this is the traditional view. Now Dr. Golding came. She basically turned the whole thing reverse. She is basically blaming the economic expert. So she is asking only one question. Now you know these are the social situations women are being presented in. So women are given child responsibility by the society. Women are given less education by the society. Then why you design economy in such a way that only people who are free throughout the day, people who do not have any responsibilities can participate. So what basically she is saying, it is the fault of our economy, it is the fault of our market, which systematically excludes the women. It is not because women are not being able to participate because of social reasons. It is because of the conditions that our market puts, conditions that our economy puts, women are not able to participate in the market. So, so the same question, the question is the same, answer is the same as in the history, but he just turned it on their head. So she gave a fresh perspective. So this is a very interesting aspect to understand that this is the orthodoxical view that women not able to participate because of childcare responsibilities and low education levels. This is the reason they have given for low participation of the women and low pay gap for the women. If you take an example of construction of house, let's say a person has recruited 10% for a construction of house. In most cases, even in India, especially in countries like India, these 10 people are 5 men or 5 women. The person who is paying for the house construction does not give equal money for men and women because he thinks woman is not capable of doing the same work as men. Now this is manufacturing or industry, you can call it industry. But nowadays the trend is services. And even the traditional aspect also, there is agriculture. In agriculture, women also do so much labor. If you take cooking, just take the example of cooking. When you cook in the household, it is the responsibility of women. But when you open the restaurant, the same cooking with the same level of hard work suddenly becomes a job that a man can do. In fact, only a man can do. If you see the chefs outside, mostly chefs will be men. But if you take the situation in the home, they say cooking is the responsibility of the woman. Why like that? Because when something is attached to the pay, suddenly it becomes equal, available for everyone. So, in traditional agriculture or services, women do more or less same work as men. But in manufacturing, there is a perception. It is not true. It is a social perception that women cannot work same as men. So, women are paid less. By that logic, women should get at least equal pay, at least in services. Forget even agriculture. In agriculture also there are stereotypes. So, in traditional occupations related to agri and manufacturing, there are many traditional stereotypes. Women are paid less. But in modern reality, when services are being dominated across the world, even in US and India, still women are paid less, even in services also. This is a reality proved by many surveys. Still women are paid less. Why this is happening? Why women are paid less? This is the question Dr. Goldin has asked herself. So she conducted a study. She read the whole history of US, how women were positioned in various times. So she observed that only when jobs expanded beyond the manufacturing, only when schools came, hospitals came, a new type of offices came, that service kind of activities came, then only women were able to get access to the employment. Then also, when women were able to get employment equally in services, still her pay was not increased. Similarly, the traditional reason that women were educated less was also destroyed in modern times. Nowadays, if you see, in India also, women overcoming men in educational attainments also. So this is also a proved aspect. Women can educate equally, if not more than men. So this is a frequent phenomenon in India. Whenever 10th class or 12th class results comes, or IIT, JEE, NEET results come, usually we will see girls dominating the results. Last year, if you take UPSC Civil Services 2022, top 3 are women. Rank 1, rank 2, rank 3 are women. 7 out of top 10 are women. So they are proving they are capable, but still their pay is not reflecting their achievement. This is the question haunting Dr. Goldwyn. So he is saying that there is a persistent gender wage, and this is the consequence of limited ability to take on roles with compressing all-encompassing responsibility. So what is the reason? What is the reason? Because women are not able to take the employment fully because of the too many responsibilities on her. As I said, women have too many responsibilities, but Dr. Goldin is not saying that the reason is the responsibilities. The reason is the market behavior, that even after these responsibilities, markets are not flexible. Markets are not allowing women with responsibility because of the culprit called greedy work. So how was our market situated? How our economic structure is implemented? See, every employer wants a person who works so hard from morning to evening. So our work model currently is very demanding, and it expects extraordinary efforts from everyone. Okay, employee should be fully involved in work. He should work for more long hours, full day, if possible 10, 12, 14. It is very common, especially in software industry, to work till late night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, night shifts. Okay, and they offer high salaries. They offer very high salaries, which act as incentive, but they are very demanding, too long hours. So for these kind of people who work very hard, who work for many hours, there are bonuses, stock options, fast promotions. So there are many benefits for employers to ensure this kind of model, to implement this kind of models, because here is an example given. I am an employer, whether there is a work that needs to be done by 3%. If I have to implement work from regular hours, let's say 10 to 6 for everyone. When I implement work only during these regular hours, I need to take 3 people. But what if I can do the same work by increasing the salary and I recruit only 2%? I have increased the salary, so many people will be ready to do it. But I have recruited only 2 people, and now I am encouraging them to work overtime. I have some benefits for because of that, because now I have to take the pension burden of one less person. If I have to take 3 persons, I have to pay the monthly PF. Every employer pays the PF share for his employer, 12% or something. So now I have to take this PF and other kind of burdens for only 2 persons. I have to arrange workspace for only 2 persons, not 3 persons. I have to arrange two office systems for only 2 persons. So there are many kind of other benefits employees are getting by encouraging less people and more work hours. Less people and more work hours. So it is financially disincentive for the employer to hire more people with the strict rules and laws implemented by the government, as suggested by the government. So because of this work model, women are not able to participate, because women have many responsibilities given by the society, but the economic structure is not in sync with the social structure. So another factor is that rising income inequality. Now people who work hard are getting many benefits. People who do not willing to work that level of hard are not getting that benefit. So there is a rising income inequality. So families need to do something to address the rising inequality. So specialization becomes a norm, and so within the house, gender equity becomes forgotten. The demands of parenting. So gender equity becomes forgotten means woman accepts that her husband can work full day, long time, because woman is not allowed to work for long hours. Someone should work for long hours because of the work model. Woman is not allowed by the society. So automatically in family, it becomes acceptable. Men focus on their career. They work for long hours. They get their bonus. They get their promotions. So woman naturally, because of her inability of social restrictions, inability due to social restrictions, limited to family duties. And the demand of parenting often makes it difficult for women to engage in jobs that require the long hours and irregular work schedule. So our work schedules are not in an expected way. They are not predictable. No one will say you have to work 10 to 6 on Friday. It might go to 7, it might go to 8, so it might cross. There are no regular fixed work schedules. So what is the solution to this problem? How can we ensure more women participate and women get their equal pay, their deserved pay? The solution lies in the reshaping our work and social environment. So social environment and work environment are not in sync, so let us sync them. So She suggests that reshaping workplaces to reduce the reliance on superhuman effort. Don't expect superhuman efforts from ordinary humans. Promote moderate work hours. Establish predictable schedules. So, you say on Friday we have to work from 10 to 6, 10 to 6 only. To fully leverage these positive trends, now women are willing to work, women are getting educated more, they are proving themselves, so that service works are increasing, society is moving from manufacturing to services. So, there are some positive trends. So to use these kind of positive trends, greater male participation is needed in household and child care. So don't make this household work and child care exclusively a female responsibility. Employment is not being properly given and equal pay is not being allotted to the women because of this extra child care responsibilities. But if men are willing to share the child care and household responsibilities, then women get freedom. So women get some free time, she can devote the same to the workspaces. So gender equity within the household will also help. Equally important is the need to reconfigure work and social environment to support work-life balance for both men and women. So the structures of society and the economy should be in such a way that work-life balance should be ensured for both men and women. So don't say women are not interested in participating labor force or women are not getting equal pay because of the social restriction. Just think both. This entails work structure that respect employees' time, discouraging excessive work hours. So respect the time of the employee. Don't go that to the extent of greediness. Don't expect superhuman efforts. They don't need fat bonus or faster promotions. Let everyone equal. Discourage excessive working hours. So the problem, according to Dr. Goldin, lies also in the market, not just in social affairs. So how this is the topic. How can you link this to the syllabus? You can link this to the government interventions because the author here in this article directly asking the government to make that sync between economic structure and social structure happen. So the author is basically calling for a government intervention. So here the sector is gender equality. Gender equality, one sector, and the employment, workspaces. In these two sectors, government needs to intervene and ensure equal spaces for men and women. And it is directly related to the economic part of GS3 and inclusive growth. So we should ensure growth by inclusivity of men and women. So here is a practice question we have already discussed. Please try to answer it. So that is it for today. Thank you. There will be a separate video on prelims news for today. This is only for editorials. So every day we are making 2 videos in this way. Please follow us, recommend us to others. Thank you.